Okay, you guys. He'll be right here. Okay, in just a second. Welcome. I am Nirvana, and he's the dynamicist. And we're unlatched, unprepared, but we're here. Okay? That's that. That's all that matters. Okay. So let's play a song. He'll be right back. He gave us the church finger. On me. True. What song is that? Let's play that. Affirmations of a what is it called? Let me go to the didn't he give us that last week on who? On me. Who is that by? True. Who's that what's the lady's names? I can find it. Wait. On who? On me. Hi Anti. Hi Susan. Hi Tia. Wait, what's the person's name, True? The singer who did that song. We could be listening to that. Oh, you don't know? Damn. Something T. What's her name? On who? On me. He'll be right back, and then we'll find out. Affirmations of a. Let me look it up. But yeah, we're gonna talk. I don't know. We might talk about a few things, but I know Shannon Sharpe is gonna be one of them. Cause here it is. Here we go. Here we go. Tell me if it sounds clear.
Hey, let this
On me. My affirmations of a real beat. You on your shit. You on your shit. You the one. Ain't nobody fucking with the fuck. Hype me up. Hype me up. Hype me up. I hype me up. I got 99 problems, but I got 100 reasons. If it rains, sleet, or snow, I'ma ball air season. Cause I gotta hype me up. Hype me up. Hype me up. I hype me up. Say I'm enough. Even when it's tough, I can fall 1,000,000 times and I'm still getting up. Bullshit is for the birds, broke shit is for the ducks. Early bird get the worm first. Last bitch I'm up. I know I can. I know I can. Do what I wanna do. Do what I wanna do. If you don't believe in me, if you don't believe in me, I don't give a fuck about you. Get your ass to the bed. I know I am. I know I am. No, I'm motherfucking precious. Bitch, I'm motherfucking precious. It just take a little time. Had to come and shut it down. Nothing more, nothing less. Teaching kind like a professor. I am healthy, I am working. I'm a motherfucking die. If it's for me, then it's for me. What I tell them all the time. If you walk up by my life, I just take it as a sign. 3 fingers to the sky. Told them read between the lines. Fuck. Ass getting fatter, yeah. Stomach getting flatter, yeah. Don't
Where's
give
your
a fuck
boot?
if you can't
Jason,
see it.
where's your
On
boot?
me, I don't chase sidetrack. I'm the one to be exact. Face card don't decline, and my body still snack. You know what I'm saying? And I know that I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. I'm the
This my shit.
You can't shit on me. So many sacrifices, I can never quit on me. On me. See my daily affirmations, put that shit on me. On who? On
Man.
me.
Look at Truth in the booth.
My daily
Come on,
affirmations.
boo.
I wake up in the morning, say this shit to myself.
Man.
Hey, let
Wait, we got that from you, Dynamics. You was the first one to put us on.
Listen.
And
Hey,
it's
you know what's
caught on
crazy?
ever since.
I am seeing so many people catch on to that trend. It's wild at this point. But yeah, I was fucking with that song when I heard it. I was like, yo, this shit right here is slapping.
Right.
It's slapping, man. Listen, it has been entirely too long since I've seen everyone. Let me get my camera right because I gotta see all this sexiness right
Step on your stool. It looked like you were stepping on a stool right now when you adjusted the camera.
No,
Anti.
What's good, Anti? What's good, Truth, Tia, Susan? Man, I miss y'all. I'm not even capping. I did. Real talk. Anti, I'm not gonna say nothing to you.
Anti. Look.
I'm not
Anti
gonna say nothing to you.
refused to put that extra in.
She does.
She's not gonna do it.
She's like, I am not going to comply. Get over it. Get over it.
Get over it.
Get over it. Man, yeah, it feels like it's been forever. But there's been so many changes that I've been experiencing, and so many movements have been happening, and so many new moving parts and kind of fulfillments of the yes, anti.
Yes, it's two
Absolutely.
ends, anti.
It is officially pronounced as Jason. However,
Son, yeah.
I do answer to Jay. I answer to quite a few things. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. So, but it's been a million fucking things happening. Everything's been great.
Mhm.
I don't answer to little man. I don't typically
Oh my God.
I haven't answered to that since I was 7. But no. Ain't nobody saying nothing to you about the YouTube name. Cause Yogi brutalizes that shit every Sunday. Brutalizes it.
Yeah, he what do you call you? Okay, with dynamics.
He calls me of a variety of shit.
The dynamics. You'd be like, okay.
But nevertheless, man, listen. Yeah, God been moving. I gotta tell y'all what happened. What's wrong?
No, I yawned.
Oh, okay. Looked like it was painful for a second there.
Did it? You stupid.
No, I'm serious.
I mean, I don't.
I'm glad you didn't do that.
Okay.
But so listen, I just got back from Hawaii. But this trip was different. Now, you guys remember I was live out there. I was live. We did a show when I was in Hawaii the last time.
Yeah. With the tow truck
situation, and then my conversation with the tow truck guy when I was asking about my brother. You remember that?
Yeah, I mean, I remember a conversation. I remember the whole tow truck guy and sitting in the seat we were clowning.
Okay, so in 23, I went to Hawaii, spur of the moment. But as a part of me going, one of the things I was doing was asking around if they know this person and if they know, and so I went to the areas that I knew that he was in, or I heard that he was in, et cetera. And never got any response back. Last year, I had a dream, and my dad came to me in a dream, and what was tripping me out was what he was wearing. So he had what's called puka shells, and so you remember when niggas used to wear like the seashell necklaces?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he had one of those on in the dream, no shirt on. He had some shorts, and he was wearing sandals, like flip flops, like the toe joints.
Right.
And so I see him in a dream.
Hi,
how you doing, Angel Eyes? And I embrace him in the dream, and and obviously this is last year. My dad passed in 22. So in the dream, I'm already knowing he passed, but I'm having this moment with him, and it was a real embrace. And then I noticed I started to do something as I started to hold on to him, and I wanted to hold on to him, but I couldn't hold on to him. It was like I was trying to hold on to him and keep him in that spot with me for that moment. But he kind of kept moving, and I noticed that he was looking to the right, his right, which would have been my left. And so at first I'm like, why is this nigga not like trying to talk to me and shit. Like, I'm the homie. Like, what's happening? Like, why you gonna come? You gonna come all the way over here, nigga, and then give a nigga a hug and not gonna talk to me? You ain't gonna give me no words, no inspiration, no.
Right.
Hey, shit's cool on the other side. You ain't telling me shit. You just give a nigga a hug. You smiling at me, but then you looked to the right, and your eyes stayed looking to your right. So the next thing, so I said, well, what the fuck is he looking at? And then I see a little kid. And so I wake up. Well, after I woke up, I'm thinking to myself, I said, okay, well, maybe that's God's way of saying that my dad is like looking over or looking after, my son. Because he's 5 now, but he would have been like 3. So he was little, right? Long story short, the very fucking next day, we finally get a response from people that knew our brother or knows our brother. So we had another younger brother that was living in Hawaii his entire life and never met us. Well, we met him when he was like 1. We seen him at least, and it was at a court scenario. And I think that was like my dad was losing custody of him at 1. So long story short, they was fucking around and blah, 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 blah. But anyway, I was there, and so we seen him, and that was it. And from that point to now, like, we had never seen him. Y'all, we found him. They popped up. Somebody finally said that they knew him, and so we started to talk. Well, as life would have it, when I just got back from Hawaii, I went and actually picked him up. And so he's here in Vegas with me now. And he has 2 brothers that he grew up with out there that live in Vegas too. So I've met his sisters that he grew up with, his, stepfathers, the fucking
So the
auntie.
brothers that are in Vegas, he didn't know them either.
No, he knew them because they lived in Hawaii with him, but they moved to Vegas to get a better life.
Okay.
The economics in Hawaii is nuts, man. And I've said this on record for years. The locals who live there are extremely poor. They're not balling by any fucking stretch of the imagination because they're priced out of everything. They're priced out of food is absolutely through the roof.
Mhm.
Gas is through the roof. Buying a property. And I was telling somebody, this was 20 years ago when I was living in a house out there. They wanted $800,000 for a house that had 1 bedroom, a little tiny kitchen, and like a living room space. And it had to be 700 square feet, some shit like that. It was like the size of a condo.
Right.
Um,
That's small.
yeah, and not on the beach, just in an alleyway, and they wanted 800 for that. So a lot of the locals are priced out of everything. So long story short, they left. A lot of them moved to Vegas because Vegas was cheaper, way cheaper than there. And so as you would have it, they ended up living here. And yeah, it is. It's all perspective, right? So it depends on where you're looking at, where you're coming from. Because leaving LA to come here, it is a better quality of life to a degree when you consider financially speaking. You don't make as much, but shit don't cost as much. At least it didn't used to.
Mm-hmm.
Starting to get there now. So which is how all of our family and most of our family ended up out here because it was just cheaper.
Who started in Vegas?
I want to say
first Melanie?
Big Daddy. I want to say Grandmommy and Big Daddy, but you might be right though. It might have been Melanie because her mother and them might have came out here before.
First. Because Grandmommy and Big Daddy weren't ever in Vegas. They were in Pahrump, right? Or were they in Vegas at one point? In Vegas too. Oh, okay.
They were up here.
I know everybody doesn't know them, but
yeah. So that's our grandparents, and they were the first in our family. When did your mom move out here? Well, it was after them, right? Yeah, it was after.
No, my mom was first, but my mom was in Laughlin.
It don't matter. She moved to Nevada, and then everybody came after that. So yeah,
Yeah.
you first.
I was just wondering how they got in Vegas. But nonetheless, that's neither here nor there. Okay, well, that's great news. So you
Yeah,
brought your
the
brother
VAs.
back. And I remember that dang gone, because we were doing the podcast back then,
Yeah.
and you were traveling, and we still wanted to do the podcast, so you did it on the move. I remember that.
Got the
Yeah.
flat tire. Wooty wooty whoop. Met the
Hi, Liz.
cool, who, by the way, was the plug. Them pictures I shared with you, that
The tow truck driver was a plug. Oh, he's still the plug years later.
oh, yeah, he was the plug. He took me right to the spot and got me right. Like,
This is on this past trip.
no, that was the last trip.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
I
Hi, Lizzie.
I'm talking about that was that I took 2 hits and I was like, oh, I'm good. I ain't finna be worth shit for the rest of the trip.
Oh, they lived in Pahrump first and then moved to Vegas.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, so he's here now, man. He's here, and man, when I tell you the emotions that hit, knowing that was something that was really important to our dad. And obviously, we love people anyway. So it's like, yeah. But man, the nigga's personality like fits. It's like a little piece to a puzzle that's been missing here, but missing all the time, to some degree. And I was telling a friend of mine, I said, what's crazy is I feel like as a family network here, he's going to be instrumental in how all of that shit starts to actually blossom even more than it does now. So, yeah, he got such a beautiful personality. He just be cool in it. Like, what's happening? Like, he's hella flex, hella cool. He reminds me of me in a lot of ways. He'll give you the shirt off his back type shit.
Mhm.
And don't mind, helping out. Don't mind sharing shit. I was just watching him like, and it just felt good to see it. And that's how our dad was anyway. So
Yeah.
a lot of shit he does, I tell him like, Pops was like that, or Pops would do X, Y, and Z, and then I took him around to a couple spots. Like I was telling him, like, Pops used to be over here, and like he would be kicking in this little spot or whatever the case may be, to help him kind of put the pieces together, to kind of.
So he never met. So you and so Jason and the brother, the one he brought back from Hawaii, have the same father, and different moms. And so, can I say his name?
Yeah.
Oh, Richard never met Uncle.
He's seen him. Yeah, he's seen him one time.
As a child, adult, or what?
As a child. He's seen him one time.
He's seen him before, but never. He was out the picture, taken out the picture when he was little.
Yeah, his whole life. Because he didn't know, like when we were telling him, he doesn't even remember really what he looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So when we were talking to him, it was like, bro, you look like him more than the rest of us. And so Melanie was showing him a video, because I had a video from Christmas a few years back where Pops was talking and shit like that. So he was watching the video on the plane, and but that's really the only live in action image of Dad that he has, because he doesn't have many memories of anything else.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, but he was telling me how he said, man, I've known you guys existed, and I've always wanted to like have this experience to actually get a chance to interact. And truth, that's a very great question. I met his stepfather who raised him, and I met him, and and his new stepfather too, because they separated. But I met him, and that's the father of all his siblings, so they all have the same dad, and it's for them, as a matter of fact. Interesting enough, but he hasn't voiced any of that as of yet. I haven't broached that conversation. This is actually relatively new for all of us. Right now, it's just getting them kind of like, just helping them to feel comfortable.
Yeah, because you just literally met him.
Yeah.
It hasn't even been. Has it been a week? Has it been
Uh,
a week?
well, we've been talking to him, but not by face. Like, this is
Physically
the
met
first
him
in
when you
person.
went out there.
Yeah, that was the first in person that we had.
Yeah, so like it's still new. Like even him coming out here and getting adjusted,
Uh,
that kind of stuff. Yeah.
yeah, so sharing, my space, our space here, and we working it out, and and like I said, his brothers came by today, and
How old are they? Because Richard is 33, right?
31.
31. Oh, he's
Yeah,
31.
yeah.
And
So they're
you're
30. The oldest is 37. I think he's the
okay.
oldest of all of those kids is 37. And then it will be Kenny 41, and then me 43, and then our sister who's
Okay.
some 70,
Gotcha.
50, some shit.
Me and Melanie are the same age.
So y'all what, like 50? Y'all coming up on 50 this year.
Nigga, please.
No,
40, 44. You cut that out. No, I'll be 40. We'll be 49. I think Mel already 49 in November. She already turned 49 in November. I'll be 49 in August.
So that's another great question. So let me start it off by saying this. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. And dad, he loves children, but he had a really bad drug habit. And I say that to say his actions and his fuse was very short with people, that especially when it came to kids, his children. Not wanting to let him see him or be around him, shit like that. He would lose his shit on that. And the story has it from his mouth was that when he would try to get in contact with him, when he got any type of pushback, he didn't know how to finesse that. He didn't know how to keep his emotions in check, so he would spaz. You know, um, fuck you type shit. Y'all don't know who y'all fucking
That's
with
very
type
common.
shit. My uncle is this type shit. Um, we'll have you in court type shit. So he was liable to say just about anything. So when he told the story, that was one of the few stories that I could take for face value. Because I know how he is, and I know how he kind of loses it. And so what's interesting enough is they probably didn't know that I knew that, or that he would have said that he did. Because when I would tell the story about why the beef that he had with that family, they didn't know that I knew that. Oh yeah, I know Pops was lose his shit. And so naturally that prevented any other possibility.
Mm-hmm.
So
It
they
had
didn't
the opposite
that.
effect.
Yeah. Um, um, I now I didn't say I was ever in the process of doing any of that. Now Cuzzos did mention, "Are you gonna DNA test the nigga?" She mentioned that. That's never been my thing. I don't have to. One, for several reasons. I give you the primary one. The nigga looks just like him. There is that. That's one. The other aspect of it for me is I've always known his entire name, first name and his two middle names, and last name obviously would have been Randolph. But um, I've seen the nigga's birth certificate. I don't have any doubts about whether or not he's our relative. I have no doubts about that. And again, this is 2025. Could it be easy to
Hey,
do?
Dad.
Yeah, it could be very easy to do. And if I did do it, it will be more so for him to know more about his other side of family and then to create like that family tree type shit on Ancestry or whatever. But I wouldn't do it for any other reason. Because it for me, I have no doubts. I don't really I have no doubts. The nigga got grandmommy hands. Like I'm looking at features, things that I know that I know that I know, and that shit lines up. It all lines up. And he looks a lot like my younger brother, and he looks more like our dad than all of us.
He looks like Uncle Jerry in the eyes when you showed me that picture.
Yeah, man.
Hi, Chantel. Tail.
What
Okay.
is that?
That's tail.
That's not even a T.
I don't know, but this is what I held up that one time, and this is always gonna be tail. Period. You don't have to like it. Tail.
So that's an S. It looks like,
Well,
like
okay,
a,
well then it's an S.
that's an S. That's what it looks like. It looks like
Tail.
an
Chantel. Okay, sorry. Okay. I'm yelling.
S. Oh, that's good. What's good, East Dad? What's up,
It's gonna
Tal?
always be tail, baby. Okay, East Dad, hi. East Dad, we're talking about you can't I know you're at work, but we haven't broached the topic for tonight yet. We're just catching up with Dynamicus meeting his younger brother for the first time and his younger brother moving to Las Vegas from Hawaii within the last week. Okay, so anyway, I'm just catching East Dad up. For anybody who's coming in late, that's what we on right now.
Yeah. I like how you said that within the last week. But yeah, but it
Why do
has
you say that? Were you trying to be funny?
no, I think you were, but
No,
nevertheless.
I wasn't. Because they need to know that this just happened. This is why
Yeah.
we're talking about it. This is new.
Yeah, so but man, like the reception that we had in Hawaii with his birth, well, his birth family. We got a chance to meet the sisters because the two boys that live here, I just met them today. But Melanie and I, we met the
Were
sisters.
your sisters the one in the picture? No, you may
Yeah,
have already told us.
sisters were in the pictures. Yeah,
Those the two girls.
two
Okay.
females, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I actually think the mother was in was in it too. So
I
it would
don't
have been
even
three
Yeah, the
females.
mother was on the end. I'm
Yeah,
hearing an echo, but I don't think they hear it. Do you hear it?
I don't
It's
hear
when
it.
I talk. Okay.
No.
So the mother was on the end.
She was on it.
I knew that was the mom, but then the was a lady next to him, and then one on two with the
Yeah, those are his two sisters. They're also younger than us, but older than him, so they're kind of right in that
middle, and that's their mom on the end.
That's
And
their
is that
mom.
their dad?
That's all of the kids' dads, and that's the dad who raised Richard.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So, but man, the reception was just unbelievably warm, and we're sitting there talking shit, and I'm me, right? So I get into my dad mode, I get into my mode, and so I'm fucking with people. I'm just fucking with you because I can. But it was so sweet because the sisters, I started talking shit with the sisters. We playing spades. we doing all the shit. Eating good, drinking good, playing spades, talking. And I'm watching Richard the whole time. And he just had this look on his face. And it wasn't a look of bewilderment, but it was almost I would say, kind of like a wow. And he said something to me while we were there. He said, and because I asked him, I said, bro, why you just sitting over there? Like, I said, man, come interface. What's happening? And he was like, no, he said, I'm just taking it in. And I'm watching this. And he said, I love the fact that I'm the wind that brought all this together. And man, seeing how warm that connection was. There is a military piece, so then I get the chance to talk about some of that. And they, one of the brother-in-laws, he's a vet, so we were talking, and and it was like it was like a real moment. There was nothing fake about the moment. And I'm very sensitive to stuff like that. And from the dad talking to me to the mom and everybody, and even the brothers that were here, it was just like you feel like your family just grew.
Mm-hmm.
And even to the point where they were offering, they said, "Man, listen, when you come back, just hey, I got an extra room here. Come slide through and post up." And you know how most of people that we know, like people say shit to be saying shit. That's not a Southern thing, and that's also not a Hawaii type thing. Like people don't just say shit to be saying it. They say it,
Right.
they mean it, right? And that's something. So it's you're held to the standard of you say what it is that you actually feel or what you mean, and mean what you say and say what you mean, if you will. So, it really left an impression on me. And then when the bros came today, it was like, man, and we talking about toys and we talking about playing because we're men, but like we're like big kids at the end of the day. Like if niggas be honest, like you give us some toys and let us be, we gonna be all right. Toys and food. Toys, food, and a woman. We gonna be straight. We gonna be good to go. Like we straight. We gonna be over there and we'll be interfacing and be content. But yeah. So man, we have a lot of things in common, man. The car love. Our pops is a car guy. The dad that he was raised by is a car guy. Um, it's so many things. He does a lot of things, and our dad did as well. And then so when they interact with us here, it's like, oh, you do that, oh, you do that. I'm like, oh, I do, yeah, that, and then some. So we got a lot of things to kind of do, shoot breeze, and just hang out. Um, so anyway, I say all that to say, man, it was unbelievable just the experience, and then seeing how he interacts with nephew and
Mm-hmm.
our grandfather, and just
Is
seeing it.
Kenny on the road?
Kenny is, but Kenny been calling though.
When
Kenny
is
been
he
calling.
back? We don't know.
Yeah, he'll be back in a week
Kenny's
and a half.
brother, you guys, is yeah, our other
He'll be
cousin.
back in a week and a half, and he's like, "Hey, when we get in, hey, let's hit the lake and let's celebrate." And Kenny is the type, he gonna go grandiose.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna go grandiose, and he already been talking about it. Like Kenny was trying to put him in the truck.
Cherokee, nice to see
The
you.
first conversation we met, he was like, "Oh yeah, man, shit, come on, I'm gonna get you in this truck, man. We'll get to work and get you making some money." Like that was him. Like it was never no hesitancy, no, oh, let me get to know this nigga. No. Not one of us have felt like that when it came to him. And there's three of us. Not one of us. Not one of us had any reservation. And I think a lot of that has to do with our dad. It
Yeah.
has a lot to do with him. And it has a lot to do with knowing that he wasn't a secret. It wasn't like we just found out that we had a sibling. We've always known him. We just never had a chance to interface with
And
him
find them.
and find him,
Yeah,
right? And so
find them.
we didn't know where he was at for years. Um, and so, but to see it all start to come together and seeing the pieces come together,
You too, East Dad. Thank you for coming.
and it's like, and when he went to his brother's house, I got kind of sad. And so Richard was looking at me and he was just like, he said, "Man, don't worry, I'm coming back." He was like, "I'm coming back."
Mm-mm-mm.
And it's like, and I was like, no, enjoy yourself and whatever. But the truth of the matter is, like, I really enjoy him. I enjoy him being around and just, the energy and seeing it and this, and seeing pops in him and just knowing how proud our dad is.
Yeah.
When people don't believe in the afterlife, I get it, but I've had entirely too many experiences to believe that this shit is all there is to it. No,
Yeah, for sure. It's
this
not.
this is not. This is only but a piece of the story. And there are so many more because there's too many experiences I've had with between him and our grandmother, and I had interactions with them in dreams and I don't dream like that. That's just not my natural. But it tends to happen to me for whatever reason. Um, you know, I don't know, but nevertheless, they did and they do. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So looking forward to it. He's seeing my kids and talk to them on the phone, but when they come, we'll get a
When
chance
are
to.
the kids coming in August? Yeah, you said August, right?
No, most likely July,
Mm.
end of June, July. Yeah, so we'll get a chance to all kind of be out and vibe out, and yeah, I'm gonna be wide open when they all when I get my whole little network because my grandchild's coming this year too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have all my kids, my grandchild. I got my new brother. I got the rest of my siblings. We gonna be wilding the fuck out. We gonna be wilding.
So big old family affair. What they call it? Oh yeah, that's it. Family affair.
Big old family affair
Right up your daddy's alley. That's exactly how he was.
in a real way.
Yeah.
Hey,
I feel
Cherokee,
like, I
listen. I
feel like
like
Big
your name
Daddy
though,
was too.
huh?
Big Daddy was too.
I don't know that part about him though.
Big Daddy big on family shit. I'll be right back, you guys.
Hmm.
Keep going.
Yeah, I don't really know that, and that's definitely insightful to hear. Um, but yeah, the pieces are falling together and falling in line, and I even think to a degree, y'all trip on this though. No, that's not important. But I will say this: I even think to a large degree, there is my professional identity is going to have something to do with this. And I didn't know exactly what it was because I'm still unemployed, and but that was all a part of the plan, right? So I knew for me it was going to probably be a year before I actually go back to work. So I made preparations for that. I put some things in place for it,
Okay, I'm
and
back.
so we're good to go on that
I'm
part.
back.
Yeah. Okay, but getting where you've been. But I had a feeling that it's going to probably be a year. I didn't know all the things that were going to happen in that year, and I didn't see this happening when it did. But I'm a firm believer in following the breadcrumbs. So let me say this as far as like a life principle. This is one of my life principles. You know how people say you gotta grind and all that shit, right? Tia. Tia, just relax and listen and you might get something. Shit. So um, but yeah, people say you gotta grind and all this shit. And one of the things, so working with cars and working with gears, one of the things I've learned over the years is that a gear only grinds when it's missing the oil or grease, right? Gears are not meant to grind. Grind is a problem. And so one of the things that it always would stand out to me was why am I forcing shit, right? Why not find the flow? Because when I find the flow, and it's no different than sex when you think about it, right? Because if sex outside of lubrication, there's a problem. Like it's like, and I don't mean a problem with her or me or whatever the case may be. I mean sex outside of lubrication, right? It's not as enjoyable as it is when it has lubrication. I think in life, though, I think we settle for a grind mentality more often than what we actually should. I think if we're looking for the flow and you find your flow, right? Life, you can kind of move through shit with a sense of grace, right? A sense of ease. And you just kind of lean in. And that's where this whole leaning into discomforts comes in because then you're not you're not fighting against that. It's like, yeah, okay, this part right here is uncomfortable for me. I keep rejecting this part right here and I'm going the opposite direction, but the shit keeps showing up. And so and I keep getting this reminder of this discomfort. And so, but the moment I begin to lean into that discomfort, I realize what you start to see is what unfolds is that it no longer becomes a discomfort. And then it just becomes like, oh, that's not really that bad. It's never as bad as the shit that I think it is going to be. And so, a life principle that I'm really zeroing in on is I'm not looking for the grind. I'm just following my breadcrumbs and I'm just moving accordingly. I'm moving according to the design that I have. And so step by step. Like, hey, yeah, I know all that shit it could be. Yeah, I know it could be scary to not have a job. Yeah, I know it could be a lot of shit could happen. Yeah, okay, whatever. I'm not ignorant. I know that these things are possibilities. I'll cross that bridge if I ever get there, but I'm not about to end. I'm not about to be in anguish, worrying or anticipating some shit that hasn't even taken place, especially when you consider the power of our imagination and how we can create shit. So then you can create some fucked up scenarios around you by how we think about it. So the one of the things I will say is like, man, I fuck it. Just find if you find a flow, man, ride that motherfucking wave. Ride the wave and then wait, and then you know, if you're going back out to catch another one or whatever the case may be, it is what it would be. But ride your wave, man, and stop trying to jump off that shit and jump onto somebody else's shit who niggas ain't even happy in themselves. Like you legitimately have an opportunity to be happy, to be like filled with joy in your experience by making one simple ass decision. But that decision doesn't line up with everybody's expectation of you. So then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I can't do that. Well, why the fuck you can't? That's your life, right? It's your decision. And this may be the thing for you. Does it make sense for me to have another house or another person to take care of or whatever? No, the fuck it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense at all. But I'm not taking care of him. He actually is, it's not that scenario. Like he's here, but we working together. And so this is a beautiful season I have. I'm afforded the opportunity. Let's get it. Shit, ain't no other time. There never have been another better time for me in my life. Yeah, I'm traveling. Yeah, I do a lot of that shit, and that's cool too. But, um, yeah, like I'm not punching the clock every day. I'm home, so we can interface more now than we ever could have. So I'm very appreciative of that. So I would say, find your flow and vibe the fuck out. That would be my advice. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that. I lost a lot of coloring contests because of that.
Outside the lines.
Yeah. Hmm. I sure did lose a lot of coloring contests. I'm low key still salty about those coloring contests
Shut up.
because I still.
I used to beat him all in everything, including coloring. But he's better at Fortnite. Okay, so we'll let it.
And
We'll
dominoes.
leave it at that.
And dominoes.
Mm,
Check our record.
no. We haven't played in a long time. It was a moment.
When you quit, I was winning.
She's my lesson. When you quit, I was winning.
Mm.
Moment.
So listen, but thank y'all. Thank y'all for the opportunity for me to share my feelings and share my experiences. And there's so many more things. So many more things that are here that are present in this little journey of mine. So I'm glad that you guys are a part of it, and hopefully I'll be able to share more about it and give you guys some content too one of these days.
What else did we? You said there's more coming. Hi, Drea.
Yes, it's a lot more,
you.
man. It's so many more things that are taking place, so many connections that are being made. I'm having so many casual encounters with people and people that are in high places and positions here in Nevada, as a matter of fact. But actually, if I were to be honest, I've met people sometimes in weird spots that, yeah, I just do. I end up meeting really dope people. And there's a passage in Proverbs 18 that says that your gift would make room for you in the presence of great people. And how that's translated is, like, you could say, is people who have influence, right? So people who have the ability to say yes, the people who have the ability to say, let's go this way, or let's choose her for this, or whatever the case may be. And noticing how my gift does that. And it's not something that's just unique to me. Like, it's a lot of us. Your gift makes room for you. And this is another reason why it's so important for us to lean into one, right? Identifying who I am and whose I am. And then understanding, like, what is my design? Because my design is unique and it's purposed. It's not accidental. Like, there's a lot of intentionality to what my design is. Even as quirky as you might think that you are, you're really not. Right? There's an application for you. There's a reason, and that's the reason why you were born in this fucking time frame, right? This version of you. I'm one of the people that I do believe that we are here multiple times. But this manifestation of me, I don't know if that manifestation was here, 125 years ago. I don't know about that. But I do believe I've been here before. Like, just me as the entity on like the deeper level of who I am. So whether or not you call that spirit, you call that soul, whatever, I don't know. That's not really, I don't get into that part. That's not important to me. What's important for me is I do believe that. So when I say that this design is unique for this time period, I'm built for this time frame I'm in. And the greatest thing that I could do to give God, or whoever it is that you believe in, or the
Jay.
creator, whatever, to acknowledge, like, I'm fucking dope. And I might be rough around the edges in some areas and boo boo woo woo to woo, all that. Yeah, there's a plan for that. Like, we could work that. But the core of who I am, I'm a dope individual. And so the way that you can tell the creator thank you for that, there's no greater way than to learn how to appreciate the you that you are. Learn how to appreciate the fact that, man, like, what makes me smile, what makes me, what wakes up that soft side of me, or whatever the case may be. It's like, yeah. And so that's what I say with your gift, right? It's so tapping into what your gifts are, leaning into those gifts, and then living as a reflection of that. Like, I am finding so much more success following the breadcrumbs. On that journey, you follow breadcrumbs. On that journey, you understand what you're destined, that you understand that you are destined by design, not by accident. Like, there is a true in life application for the me that I am. When I find that application,
Hi, Angie.
that's when the magic happens. So, what's good, everybody? Thank y'all for sliding in, coming in where you're at. I'm just kind of in the space. Got my little brother. First time I've met him in his 30 years of his life. He's 31, and just met him for the first time. And he moved out here to Vegas. He's with us now. So we're interfacing on a daily. So it's been unbelievable. And there's a great sense of joy that I have as it relates to that. So, got some stuff planned. Got some events that I want to do. And he's right there with it. So, yeah. So I'm just filling you guys in on the journey, but it's been beautiful, and it's getting even better, moment by moment.
Good.
So, yeah. So sorry to to kind of talk a lot. It's been so long since I've seen you guys, and I miss you guys. I miss
How
this.
has it been since we did a?
Man,
Has it
it's
been
been
2 weeks or
minimum
more?
3 weeks. I feel like 3 weeks for
Because
me.
I know, yeah, maybe 3 weeks, huh? Since we've done a podcast.
Yep.
because you were gone 1 week, I canceled 1 week, and then I feel like it was one more week. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's been a minute.
It's been a definite minute. Definite minute.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ange. I definitely appreciate that. You get a chance, man, can hear kind of some of the backstory and the messages that I received through dreams, and then and then trusting the process, and not saying that there wasn't a lot of fear in this though. There was a lot. It was a lot. I had plenty of spaz out moments where I was just like, man, but what about this and what about that? And how am I going to address this? And that's why I say, like, a lot of that was stuff that I was just anticipating. And I was anticipating things that never had taken place. And it's like, why are you spending so much time, trying to factor in all those variables? Like, you have a yes, move forward. And the pieces of the puzzle will fall into place, but you gotta do your part, and there's another passage in scripture that says, faith without works is dead. And it's like, now I'm not out here trying to prove shit to nobody. And I'm not trying to tell God like, hey, yeah, I'm the most faithful. Like, that's not my conversation. I am I am the young nigga that you made. You know me better than I know myself. So therefore, you know what you're dealing with. And like, hey, I just want to do my part. So you can get it through me, you can get it to me. So hey, I'm here. I'm gonna be a willing vessel. And so I'll let you use me how you see fit. But um that don't
Congratulations, Angie.
that don't mean I'm not gonna talk about it. But yes, congrats on her transition. That was a major move for her. We talked about that, and I think one of our last podcasts actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I
So
just I
you
love it.
just finished week number 1. Yeah, so it's been a couple of weeks since we've been here. I know you told us about your new journey, your own new journey. So it's a lot of new stuff going on with
Mhm.
everybody. A lot of new
Yeah.
stuff going on.
A lot,
Awesome sauce.
a lot. So many things.
Awesome. Well, today I you guys saw the post I put up. We're gonna talk about we have about an hour left. We were gonna talk about Shannon Sharpe, which we still are. I don't know, that was dynamics if you had something else you wanted to talk about, but we were just gonna just touch base. It's really so far it's amazing. Okay, good, good, good. So you're embracing all of it. That dynamics was just talking about that, leaning into um we know whatever your transition is or whatever you're going through. Um yeah, so anyway, um so Shannon Sharpe, right? Everybody knows who he is, or maybe they don't. He's a football player. Was a football player. He's
Mm.
the one, Club Shay Shay. I know you guys know about Club Shay Shay. That's how I think that's how I was introduced to him. Is Club Shay Shay, the YouTube uh show. So another black man accused of sexual assault, SA. Not only sexual assault, but with a very young 19, 20-year-old white girl. And that's not the first woman to accuse him of SA.
I have so
I,
much to say about
I
this.
have clips. I have clips to
I have
come.
so much to say about this scenario. And there's so many discussions to have about this. So many. So many. Um, and I think it will be I'm looking forward to this one. We're coming up close to our break. So we definitely don't want to get too far into it before we get to the break. But nevertheless, we'll take a brief reprieve in a minute. play a song, y'all refresh your drink, grab a snack. And then when you come back for the second hour, yeah, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that as well as the Shedeur Sanders scenario. Because I really think there's a lot of shit going on that I don't know if people are really fully paying attention to. And I think there's an answer. And I think we have to position ourselves. We got to position ourselves differently. We really do.
Sorry, I'm trying to get my clips together. Yeah, so we have 1 hour left, you guys. So we're gonna start with Shannon Sharpe when we get back, and I'll be back. I'm gonna play this clip. It's a comedy clip. I'm gonna play this so you guys can watch this, and then we'll be back. Let me share my screen. This is funny to me. Here you go, y'all.
Let's get into it. I am gay. I am gay. See, y'all were like, I am gay, but I'm tired. I'm tired of being gay, y'all. I'm tired of being gay. I think I'm gonna be straight. That was my resolution this year. Just be straight. I'm like, people coming out the closet, I'm going back in. Tired of being gay. I feel like it's not fun no more. They just letting anybody be gay. Like, gay starting to feel straight, and that's not why I came here. I don't know if y'all know, they let women with 5 kids be lesbians. Like, that's crazy. 5 kids and you a lesbian? No. 5 kids? No. 5 kids, I don't think you're looking for a girlfriend. 5 kids, I think you're looking for help. You don't need a girlfriend, bitch. You need an aunt. That's what an aunt would do. I'm tired of it. I'm tired. They made me to be the boy because I got the haircut. I don't like it at all. They made me the boy. It's like, you got the haircut, get the bill. I was like, wait a minute, bitch. My titties are bigger than yours. You the man. Man. You get the bill and make sure you tip, sir. Disrespecting me. Tired of paying. I ain't no man. This shit is expensive. And you not always guaranteed pussy. That's the crazy thing about it. Being gay made me a better woman. I realized how selfish women are. It is. I took this beautiful woman out on a date. I took her out on a Thursday, first date, right? I took her out on a Thursday because I didn't want to pay weekend prices. Took her out on a Thursday, first date. The bill come out. The bill $475.
Yeah, dang.
What I said. $475. And when you paying, you can't complain. You just gotta pay. If you complain, you look broke. She gonna text the group chat. You don't want to be a part of that. So you just pay. So I did. I slapped my card on the table. I paid. And when we left the restaurant, I started walking in front of her so I could get ahead so I can call the bank. So disputed.
Not disputed.
He said, what happened? I said, somebody stole my car. They eating steaks on a Thursday. I don't do shit like that. That's not a Thursday for me. Y'all can check the records. I've never did nothing like that.
Thursday?
Right. She ain't know that though. She ain't know I got my money back. So I take her home, drop her off. No sex. Never felt more like a man in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Fellas, I get it now. You can't even say shit. You just gotta be okay with it. Damn, bitch, $475, no pussy. That's crazy. Not even a little bit. I'm not saying you got to, but $475.
That's a lot.
Cost $475. That's what I'm saying. This is crazy. And I couldn't even get mad. I sat there for a second. I got high and I was like, this is karma. Because when I was straight, I too was a selfish bitch. So I called the last man I went on a date with to apologize and let him know I understand. And to also let him know I was going to be straight this year. I was like, I owe you some pussy, King. I owe it to you. Before I hit the streets running, you paid for this 5 years ago. It's yours. I'm a better woman now. I'm tired. I'm tired of being gay. I feel like they tried to make it too straight. I was on TikTok 2 weeks ago, right? And there was this video, and the video said, when you're the masculine woman, you're supposed to walk on the outside of the sidewalk closer to the street in case a car hit y'all. So you supposed to protect this bitch and get hit. In case, I said, first of all, why would I risk my titties for this bitch? I'm not your boyfriend. I'm not doing that. I don't even really think men should do it. So you're supposed to walk on the outside, get hit for your lady, die. So she can get a new boyfriend. And now they at your funeral, like, look, bro, if it wasn't for you dying, this would have never been my lady. That's crazy. I don't think.
Okay. It's like it's 10 minutes long, but I just found that on. It was funny to me.
No, she's bringing up such good points.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard out here to be us.
To be a man? Oh no. She's not a man, but to be the dominant. What should I say? Dominant one?
You can say what you want to say. She said her experience taught her like it's hard out here being the nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Being the dude in the relationship, you know, whatever the case may be. I don't have no disrespect towards nobody, but I'm just saying
it's hard out here for y'all.
It's hard. It's hard out here. But 475, no disrespect.
You ain't doing it?
No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying 475.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of fucking money. That's a lot of
money.
It's
a steakhouse
for a first date. Yeah. That's a lot of money for a second or a third date.
That's some old. It's our anniversary type shit.
Yeah, that's marriage money. Like,
right.
Like, we legit in this month. We sharing funds.
Right.
Yeah, we sharing.
Right.
We got a joint account somewhere.
I was just about to say that's coming out the joint account.
We got a joint account. We put our money together for a minute. Like, come on. But you know what's crazy is I hear stories like this. I think a lot of people are doing stuff like this. Fortunately, with the energy I have, I don't attract females that are like that. So females that I deal with, like, our energies work together, and we swing. Like, it's like, hey, look, hold on, let me rephrase that. Because
we swing.
Yeah, this 2025 niggas might take that the wrong way.
Right.
What I'm saying is we work together. That's what I'm saying. Like, we work. we be working together. Sometimes she might get it. Shit, sometimes I might get it. But yeah. Like, damn, 075. That's like all of a person's, some people's whole week check.
I know.
You know, after taxes and all that other bullshit, like 475, that's a lot.
That's a lot to ask of a mom.
And I was blessed and fortunate for being.
I was just trying to prep the video. I don't know where to start with this Shannon Sharpe because I want people to know who he is and all that. But I had a clip here. It's a little too long, but Dr. Umar's opinion, and you guys know who that is. Mano, his opinion, he's funny. Cam Newton, his opinion was sound. I even have a clip with Tasha K. You know, she's problematic, so she's interesting. But yeah. Black man accused of raping a 19, 20-year-old OnlyFans model. Is it a setup, shakedown, or is he guilty? Well, is he part of the problem? But let's look at this real quick. I think we'll start with
Well, you wanna take that little reprieve before we go into it?
Well, we did already. That was the whole point of the comedy thing, to go get your snack and all of that.
Yeah, how you gonna listen to the comedy thing and get a snack at the same time?
Well, I don't know. You want me to play a song?
Yeah. How about you play the song I sent you?
All right, let me play a song, you guys. We'll be right back.
Sheesh. I'm sorry, that was supposed to be muted.
Rolling, motion, keep moving closer to your chosen, chosen, chosen. Oh, I greet myself with high effervescence, for there's a sweet sense of elation. Where do we go for closure? In the quiet of reflection station. War is war, nobody's gonna make it. We all carry scars, yeah. No one can truly shake it. And that's the way we keep on, yeah. Rolling, rolling, motion, keep moving closer to your chosen, chosen, chosen. Oh, for instance, say I be the one that no give chance. Say I be the one where they make plans. I still dey maintain my own stance. Circumstance, if it to hold you back. This streets are quicksand, if it to hold you down. Could be like saying I die, but only for a little while. Patience, it's alright, so now people don't crash, cause I'm rolling. Motion, motion, moving closer to your chosen, chosen, chosen. Oh,
That's pretty. Reflection Station. That was a pretty song. Hi, everybody coming in. Cheapo. What? I gotta go. Right. That was so pretty, wasn't it? I love your avatar, Cheapo. I love it. I meant to tell you that earlier. What the hell? Right, me neither. He says, I don't know what he was saying either, but it sounds so pretty. He could have been talking shit. We don't even know. He could have been saying our pussy stank, all kind of shit. We like, yay. We all into it, for real. Okay, look. Look at this slow nigga. Tell me something. What does IRL mean? Lord have mercy. Anyway, okay, you guys. So I'm sharing my screen. I'm gonna play this little clip from he said chosen something. Right, okay. Okay, look, here we go. Let me play this song. Play this clip right here. Here we go.
Shannon Sharpe. I like to choke a little young girl out. Shannon Sharpe, consensual. Granddaddy Shannon Sharpe. Okay. So unfortunately, guys, he has lost ESPN and he has lost his $100 million podcast deal.
$100 million podcast deal. He lost over this white girl or whatever it is.
All over some Badusi. All over some Badusi. And I say Badusi because if you read the court documents and how that young girl, Gabby, said that big black man intimidated her and scared her and came to her house unannounced and forced her into the room. And this is according to her in her lawsuit. And took her by her head and put her into a position to give him oral. They finna flag the live again. Just be kidding. And then that lasted 2 minutes, and he turned her around and bent her over. And she said, please, if you're gonna do this, I don't want you to do this. Put on a condom. He refused to do it and went inside her, and she cried and she cried and she cried and told him to stop. Told him to stop, please stop. It hurts. And he said, quote, according to her in the lawsuits, I'm gonna make it so no other man wants you. She had broken up with him. He didn't take no for an answer with the breakup and didn't take no for an answer. And he wants to call it consensual. He wants to say we're trying to keep another black man down. Only thing that's keeping you down is your fluid addiction to relations with both parties.
Come on, both parties. My God, today.
I read the lawsuit. It broke my heart. The same way Cassie's lawsuit broke my heart, this one broke my heart because it's the power dynamics at play. 20 years old. 20 years old.
Mm-mm-mm.
20. And all of this happened after she broke up with him. There are text messages that prove it. And yes, Busby said he's not going to release the video that Shannon Sharpe says that they're going to release because they're going to save it for court. And Gabby, you listen to me. Gabby, if you're watching this, I know this is stressful. You get your fucking money. You hear me? Gabby, this is a black woman to a young white girl who has her whole life ahead of her. You cash out early. You get your fucking money. You gonna go to the gym and find a girl straight off of the prom floor. Literally just took off her prom dress.
Look at the comment.
Now, in this lawsuit that you're going to hear, because we're about to play something that's going to get the live flagged again, but, you know, we got to do what we got to do today, okay? We're breaking all the rules today. I won't be surprised if this video is yellow.
Start it again. Let me see it.
Oh, they finna bury the video. I already know what they finna do. I already know what they finna do. They finna bury the video. But listen, YouTube. I promise you, going forward, I will keep all controversial stuff like this off of the platform. I promise you. Okay, just let me have this one. Because, you know, people was out here saying I was getting soft, Jasmine. They was saying that I was getting soft. They was saying, man, Tasha, during COVID, man, you used to be hot. Like, we still do this. It's just on TashaKLive.com. We still do this. Now, what was I going to say before that, Jasmine? What was my thought? Yeah, okay, so I'm about to play y'all something that's streaming and very popular on TashaKLive.com. We just released it on, was it Wednesday last week? That y'all like to play with me. So not only did Gabby file a lawsuit of $50 million, there was another woman 10 years prior that he was with for 10 years, another white woman, another young girl. And she had been alleging some of the same things that Gabby is alleging in her lawsuit. And Gabby is alleging anal. Can you read my lips? How y'all was reading that little girl lips that said that she was with A$AP Rocky? Brutal by this big black man. Brutal. After she had broke it off with him. He didn't take no for no. And we all know how that go. You know, we be breaking up and they don't believe in us that we really done. And she said no. So get your money, Gabby. Get it all. Shannon, apparently, according to Gabby and Michelle, only likes the butt. only likes the butt. He likes
What?
the butt on girls. He likes the butt on boys, and he liked his butt played with, according to the white women and according to the boys. Tell him, Mattel. Tell him. Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
Oh, hanging in there.
You were thrown into a sex tape ordeal. I've spoken to sources that were close to Shannon Sharpe. I guess he was trying to dispel the gay rumors, and a lot of people feel that the Instagram live, it's not easy to go live on Instagram. Like, you got to go through some steps to go live on Instagram. That it was actually a ploy to dispel the gay rumors about him. Do you feel like that recording of him going live was real, or do you feel like he just used your name since he was with you for 10 plus years?
It's triggering. You got to remember, this was a very sensitive subject. The last time I saw him, he raped me.
What did you find attractive about him? Charming?
Oh, yeah. He was very charming. He was built like a Greek god. He was nice to me. He was both the hero and the perpetrator.
What was your sex life like?
He loved to have his booty played with. That part might not have been everyday sex, but other than that, everyday sex, it was just...
Well, so like you put fingers and tongue in his butt?
Yeah. You know, there were times where I wondered if maybe he was bi, but then I would tell myself, no, that doesn't mean he's gay just because he likes his booty being played with.
So do you think you kind of opened up his butt to new experiences?
No, I can't imagine, because he...
We still do what we do. For those out here trying to put, trying to throw salt on Tasha K and what we do over here, man, we got a team of 15. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. They ain't working for free. Matter of fact, they don't even want to go nowhere else. I be trying to get them to go other places. They don't want to go nowhere. I'm like, you sure you don't want to go work for the shade room or something? No, we good right here. It's fun over here. My new personal assistant, she loves it here. She's like, oh my God, Tasha, this is like Jerry Springer. All the calls she listens in on. And when I tell you the wine that we got on Miss Lotto. Shannon, despite what he told you guys about him stepping away from ESPN to be with his family, and he will be back when the season starts. So if he was stepping away to be with his family, why is he on nightcap every night right now? Why is if Shannon Sharpe was taking a break and he was from the public, from ESPN, to go be with his family during the midst of such a trying time for him, why is he on nightcap every night, same time? Last night before? Tell me why. And y'all believe this man ain't get fired? When I tell you this man is a liar, still lying out here about his sexuality, man, bye. And y'all been telling me I've been hating for 3 years. Where is Comedy Hype? Comedy Hype, I need another interview. Let's go. Roll it up. Let's go. I get a winos everything 3, 4, 5 years prior. Only for the very thing that I said to come into fruition.
Okay, so that's her part. What do you think about that? Now this is just commentary. This is Tasha K's commentary. It was pretty much over, but I hadn't seen the part with the bisexual and all that. Definitely could be true, but does that matter in the bigger scheme of things with what's going on? I don't know.
No. But I think the more pressing concerns is to address, the real issue. Obviously, SA is not a laughing matter in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Do I think it happens? Yes, I think it happens more often than it's ever reported. And Truth mentioned this earlier for something totally separate, but I believe it plays a role into this. It's a power dynamic. And, we hear and are familiar with these types of dynamics that happen in prison as well. Right. So if it's happening in prison, it happens on the streets, and, maybe that's more of a human thing when you have an unchecked ego. So could that power dynamic play a role? Yes, I think it could. So, barring the fact that this is a sensitive scenario, personally, I feel like a lot of this is bullshit. And I think it's entirely too convenient. But I would say this before I get into what my thoughts are. You might want to go first because I want to blow this whole shit up, to be perfectly honest with you. And it's not going to feel good for the people involved. And it definitely ain't going to sound good for, it's not going to feel good or sound good for anybody involved in this one. Because I think there's culpability across all lines. And I think it's disgusting. And now, granted, we only have allegations now, so I'm not in any way, shape, form, or fashion suggesting that SA is a laughing matter or something that we should take lightly. I think that shit is fucking heinous in any way, especially when you consider nigga. Like, come on, bro. Like, what the fuck do you have to take anything from anybody? Especially when it comes to sex. You know how many women just are curious about shit and would do shit? It's like, I just don't get that whole dynamic. It just does not register for me.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, I have very strong feelings about this because of the optics. And Tasha K, I've heard her speak on quite a few occasions, and I've never really felt some kind of way until this one. Because I think some of her issue is something personal. Because I don't understand how she doesn't see some of the dynamic that's at play when it comes to this and the terminology that's being used. You know how many times that fucking terminology has worked against black men in general?
What terminology?
Big black nigga.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
That shit has killed off so many.
But she didn't say it. The lady didn't she? In the transcript.
In her transcript, I want you to put a big black baby in me. That's what she said.
That's what the girl said.
Yeah, she said that.
Mm.
But when you say that you are afraid because he's big and he's black, the nigga's guilty. And niggas have been hung for that same shit. Niggas have lost their lives for that same shit. Just because you're big and black. And I had that scenario happen to my son, who's 15 and he's 6'3". So imagine at 15, if he's 6'3", the little nigga was tall even when he was younger. And I remember in one particular instance, we were playing baseball. He was playing baseball and he was the catcher. And he flattened the kid who was coming across the base. And all he did was catch the ball, turn to the left, and caught the nigga coming in, trying to slide into a home plate, and he flattened his ass. So now he wasn't 6'3" at 12 at 7. I'm just saying he's big, so he was tall.
Mm-hmm.
But he was taller than those kids, but not like, crazily taller. But he was just bigger. So people always looked at him like he was older than he was. But the fact of the matter is, because of that instance, you had parents in the stands talking shit, and I got into it with them. And I'm not even pro-violence at all. I'm not a pro-violent type of individual, but the fact that you're launching these type of comments and insults to a fucking kid who's like 8 because your kid is whatever he is and he came sliding across the base and trying to get to home plate and he got flattened. So then you're gonna make your son feel like he's wrong for playing the game the way that he's taught to play the game. And again, I think this shit plays into these optics. And that shit rubs me the wrong way on a regular basis because it's like, I'm black, I have a beard, I'm aggressive. It doesn't matter what the fuck I'm doing. I had a lady tell me I look militant and I should cut my beard because I look militant. And I was in my mid-20s. Mid to late 20s when she said this. And it was a white woman. And I was working at a country club. And I didn't even wear my beard like this. It wasn't even this, and it's still not long, but the fact is it wasn't even like this. But they still had that comment to say. And it's like, there is absolutely nothing that I've ever done to suggest anything other than I have the utmost decorum about how I carry myself. But yet, just on the optic alone, you tell me that I look militant because I wear a beard? So I should cut my beard, or I should cut my hair, or I should change aspects of my identity to make you feel more comfortable. I have a fucking problem with that. And the way that this is being reported, I have a huge problem with that. Which makes me feel like it's bullshit. Now, again, I'm not saying I don't know the scenario. Do some of them niggas wild out? Absolutely. Is it possible that he had some culpability in this scenario? I am not absolving him of any responsibility. I'm not saying that he didn't do anything. I'm not saying that she was right. I'm not saying that she was wrong. All I'm saying is I don't agree with the optics. And if you leave it up to me at this point, I feel like it's some bullshit. I feel like those optics alone, and then the fact that he offered $10 fucking million. $10 million? Now, Jay-Z didn't offer shit when he had the same scenario. So if you're not familiar with it, Jay-Z was charged with something like similar, and they were trying to go to a civil court. There's a difference between civil and criminal. Civil court is where you get all your judgments and shit like that. Criminal court is where you get your prison sentences. So you can try a person criminally and they're not guilty, so they don't go to jail, but they can lose in civil court and then they can be liable for damages. So then they have to pay. And so there is a difference. And when
the standards aren't as high in civil court, you don't have to prove as much. The level of proof is not the same.
It's not the same. So people and lawyers are taught, well, they know based on the scenario which one would be the best bet, right? That we could get a judgment in our favor. Now, if the nigga really essayed her, the nigga deserves to be in jail. But you're not going criminal. You're going fucking public opinion. That's a problem to me.
This is a civil case, not a criminal case?
Civil case. Mm-hmm. It's civil at this point. Now, granted, could it turn into a criminal? Maybe. But from what everything that's being reported is they're seeking $50 million in damages, which says if I'm seeking $50 million, that means I am trying you in a civil court. I'm not, because you're not getting damages like that through a criminal case. You have to then go do your criminal case, be found guilty, and then you do your civil piece, your civil hearing. But they're going straight to a civil court for SA? For SA.
Yeah. That's why I mean, do we know why that is, though? I haven't looked into that, so I don't know. I mean, do we know, could criminal charges be brought? Is it just that it's easier to start in civil court, and then if there's enough evidence presented, it could move to a criminal case if it fits the criteria?
So when it comes to a situation like this, there are certain things that one don't have a statute of limitations, right?
Mm-hmm.
SA is one of those. SA, murder, and a few other ones, right? That I can't think of some other ones, but those are some pretty high profile ones. Those always have, there's a criminal component to that. Now, and there's no real statute of limitations, if you will. But you have to prove it though, right? And obviously they have SA kits that women will use, and then those are admissible in court, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
But in a situation like this, and this is the same thing that Jay-Z said, when that attorney who targets, and again, you have attorneys that make their entire living. When I was working in Georgia, I worked at a country club, and there were attorneys there. And there were some attorneys that I knew of personally that made their living on litigation, and what they were doing was on like wrongful injury cases type shit, right? So let's say you walk into a store and you slip and fall. They took cases like that. That's what they built their entire practice on. So I've seen those scenarios, and I've seen them talk about those scenarios and how they talked about them and what they were talking about and what they, as a matter of fact, when my dad passed away, I have an attorney that was seeking damages. And so he was saying, and he was telling me the difference of, okay, so we're going to file here. We're going to file at this time versus that time, because of these rules and that rules, and then this will put us right under the window. I mean, and again, I studied law originally before I went into therapy or counseling, but so I'm familiar with this. But this whole case, to me, it sounds fucking sketchy. And then I don't know what Tasha K's situation is and why she's so like, fuck Shannon Sharpe, because it seemed very personal how she was talking about it.
I think she always does it. I don't follow her, but I think that's her MO.
That's not her MO for everybody.
Like, she's very like, she likes attention, and like, I feel like she just goes in like that. Like, she's always problematic and shit. She said, I'm going to play devil's advocate, and I don't believe in Kelly and Sharpe. Is one greater than the other? Twice.
Yeah. I think those scenarios, well, I still feel like both of those scenarios were bullshit.
R. Kelly.
Yeah. I still feel like they both were bullshit. And I don't mean any harm to anyone. And if my daughter was ever involved in that, I would feel some kind of way about that. But we're talking about the dynamic in itself. And so I think when we're talking about this Sharpe scenario, is there a possibility that the nigga is weird? Yes. I think it's a strong possibility that he's weird. But most of the people, what they're basing their argument on, and like in this, her argument, she's basing this fucking argument on the fact that he's a big black nigga and he's likely to be guilty. He's guilty until proven innocent. Not innocent until proven guilty. He's a big black nigga. He definitely had to do it. Look how small I am. You know how many niggas got killed for shit like that historically?
So if that's the case, my thing is this. This is what gets on my nerves. And we only have 10 minutes, so I'm gonna play the Cam. I really wanted to see what Cam Newton had to say, because I heard positive things about his reaction. But you know, and all of that's, I hear what you're saying, and I get all of that. But my thing is, if that is the case, why do you guys, and not you specifically, but men, black men, whoever, why do you keep putting yourself in these situations where you can get fucking hung up this way with these women, regardless of color, whatever? Why are you at your big age fucking with a 19-year-old white girl? What the fuck is going on here? And this is not the first person to come out. You silence the other ones by paying them off. There's other women who were paid off, supposedly, allegedly, that did not speak. And this happens every fucking time. And I am alarmed by the fact that this shit drops right when he just like the Bill Cosby thing, on the edge of a big ass deal where you're about to fucking top off, and they shut it down. I'm not saying none of that is false. I'm saying that is what white people do. That is what Jews do. The man, the entity, whoever the fuck it is, right? The people with money and power. That's what they do. They're in control. So if we know that, why the fuck is this shit still happening? Why don't you guys understand that you are not untouchable? I wish you black men with a little bit of money would stop thinking you're untouchable. You got all these fucking examples in front of you. You got Michael Jackson, you got Bill Cosby, you got R. Kelly, you got Puff Daddy, you got Kanye, whoever else I'm missing, I don't know of, that got a whole bunch of money, but they may not be in the spotlight. You motherfuckers, they can bring down whenever they fucking want to, but you still put yourself in these situations. I have zero sympathy. I don't give a fuck. Pay the bitch her money and shut the fuck up. And if you're gay, be gay. If you're bisexual, be bisexual. Yes, the man's prostate is in their butt. Okay? I don't give a damn. Play with his butt. I don't care. But get a grown-ass woman to play with your shit. Not a 19-year-old. My son is 27, and he told me he doesn't even want to date a 19-year-old because he said, Mom, what do I have in common with a 19-year-old? We can't even go to the club and get a drink together. And that's a 27-year-old. This nigga's 56.
Now, that's true, right?
The fuck? Get the fuck out of here.
Let's not conflate all of your statements because you're making some solid ass points. And those and they're not just solid because I agree with them. They're very solid. Why are you putting yourself in a fucked up position? Right? You keep putting yourself in this position. This is not the first time. This is the reason why I don't have much sympathy for him about this scenario, because again, this is not your first rodeo with this. That CBS deal he had years ago, I didn't know why he left CBS and got sidelined.
I didn't know about CBS.
He was with CBS originally, and he was doing the same type of shit, right?
Oh,
well, the reason why he what's the white dude's name? Skip Bayless. Bayless. That's how he ended up on Skip Bayless' show, because Skip Bayless gave him an opportunity. And that's why he said, I'll always be appreciative of Skip Bayless because he gave me the opportunity, blah, blah, blah. Well, the reason why Skip Bayless had to give him that opportunity was because of that bullshit he was doing during that CBS time, right? So then they canceled him. So then he gets with Skip Bayless, wooty, wooty, woo. Skip Bayless is disrespectful, multiple occasions, wooty, wooty, woo. ESPN, Stephen A., they scoop him up, right? So then he gets on ESPN, and he's got his podcast, ESPN, and he's popping because now he's on that network. And then he starts getting a bunch of other deals coming in. So then he's on the verge of having this $100 million contract deal, which is massive in that industry.
Right, that's a lot of money.
Most niggas don't make that kind of money. People who are pundits and reporters, stuff like that, they don't make that kind of money, which is why Stephen A. was walking around like this nigga's the starting point guard or starting a two guard of Chicago Bulls. You know, he's moving like that because now he's making similar kind of money to some of them niggas in the NBA. Well, the point of the matter is this. You put yourself in a really fucked up position. And when you listen to, like, I watch Club Shay Shay,
Mm-hmm.
and I watch the podcast, and then this nightcap shit, right? And I've watched those for a while now.
Anything
And
that
I'll listen to things he talks. What'd you say?
No. Go ahead. I was trying to find see if I could
Oh.
find for truth the victim. Go ahead.
And I've listened to the things he's talked about on there, and then the things that's starting to trend now about the story is Monique came on there and told him stop fucking with these young women.
Right, and Cat Williams too, right?
Cat Williams had a dope comment. He was like, "It's not that I don't find white women attractive." He said that I'm afraid of them.
Mm.
He said because at any given moment I can be what's the old boy's name? Kang the Conqueror. The actor that played Kang the Conqueror. He's a big black nigga.
Oh God, with the muscles. I forgot his name.
That guy with the muscles. Well, when you hear that, you hear the videotapes, you hear the recording of the phone call, you see the fucking video, and do you know this nigga still got found guilty? The nigga was running.
Oh, yes. I already know. Yeah, from the car. The one who was running from the car?
He ran from her.
Yes. I remember
that. This nigga. Pursued him. And he still lost the case.
Mm-hmm. It was on camera, the CC footage and all that. Yeah.
Because you a big black nigga and you guilty.
Mm-hmm.
You had to do something. Right? So again, you're putting yourself in these fucked up positions, which raises a whole nother question though. Right? And you made a statement that said why. So let me be perfectly honest with you. I was born in the 80s. You were born in like the 60s.
Shut your punk ass up. Yes.
I'm fucking with you. No, but you were born
76. Okay, it was
born in the 70s, right? But the point of the matter is this.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, when people wonder, well, what is it? What's the fascination? Let me say this, and I'll say this vulnerably. Growing up, you did not see many images of positive images of black women coming from our generation.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the time frame of what TV we're watching, right? Or what's the media that we're exposed to? What's the images that we're seeing in classes? What's the images we see on television, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? You didn't have that many. So the reality is what was painted to be ideal were those women. And so when you ask the question, now mind you, that nigga's older than us. Mm-hmm. So if it wasn't until Claire Huxtable that we had an image of an attractive black woman on television, like for real, like, across the board, like universally accepted, like, oh, she bad. I had the hugest crush on Felicia Rashad. But to this day, I still have a crush on Felicia Rashad. But the reality is that you didn't have those examples, and that was all manufactured, right? Black was whack, white was right. That's the messaging. So if I experienced that and I was born in the 80s, that nigga's 50 something, so he was born in the 60s. Oh yeah, absolutely. So he came up at a time, and then the nigga was born out there in the deep South too. Shit, nah, yeah.
So you're saying that he believes that white women are the trophy?
I'm not gonna say that, but
I mean, is that what you're alluding to?
Yeah, but I think I think that's at play. I think you would not be wise to ignore that. I would say that you would not be wise to ignore that, and especially when you look at why do a lot of these black athletes and these niggas who get to these high positions, why do all their wives? Cat Williams, he named the shit and he called it out eloquently because he actually pinpointed. He said, "Why do all their wives look alike? Look at them."
Cat is a fool.
Hey, And then, but you can't argue with the fact that they all do. They all fit the same model, the same mold.
I hate to even go. I hate to stick with that with the black and white thing. It plays a big part. It does, but I also feel like it's it's not just that, it's age and it's things you have in common. I don't like the idea, and I don't care if it's a woman to a man or a man to a woman. I just feel like there's a cutoff point where the shit is weird.
How about this?
It's weird to me.
Here's a good one. Are you familiar with who Bill Belichick is?
Yeah, the comedian? No. Bill Belichick. Oh, that's the sports dude?
He was the head coach of the Patriots.
Of the Patriots, that old white man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know how old his girlfriend is?
What, in her 20s or something?
Yep. Do you know what the age difference between her and him is?
What, 30 years? Because he's old as hell.
Try again.
40?
Keep going.
Oh man, that shit is sick. Okay, let me play this next clip.
Bill Belichick's the age difference between him and the female he's with is 49 motherfucking
That's
years.
Weird, bro.
And it's saying that he's sick. No, he's looked at as that's a trophy for him. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to us, though, and I think there's just a huge disparity. And I'm not reaching for shit.
I think I don't know who we talking about. I don't give a damn black or white. It's weird
because your opinion and most of our opinions, right, is that they're echoed by others as well. Yeah. And so who's echoing the same opinion that you're having? A lot of the black community is saying the same thing, right? Oh yeah, that's a huge difference. It's terrible. Blah 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 blah. And then the white community is saying that, and oh yeah, he's predator and he groomed her and all this other shit, right? But but no one says that about Bill Belichick.
But Epstein too. But Epstein, people talk shit about him.
Who? Epstein still ain't been found guilty of that shit.
Didn't he kill himself and go to jail?
Oh, wait, hold on. No, I'm thinking about Weinstein. Yep. Epstein killed himself. Yep. But we still didn't find out about the black book that he had and all the people that was over there on Epstein Island. We don't hear nothing. We don't hear shit about it. We don't hear shit about the Abercrombie and Fitch guy. Did you know that nigga had a whole ass trafficking ring? Mm-hmm. The Abercrombie and Fitch guy. But we don't hear anything about that. But you hear about Diddy. You hear about, again, I just think it's entirely too convenient that you're only hearing about these people. Most people don't even realize that Jay-Z said, look, take me to criminal court. Fuck this shit. Right. If I did that, I deserve to be in jail. Take me to criminal court. Mm-hmm. Do you know that shit got thrown out?
Nothing else about it. Right.
You didn't hear nothing else about it.
So why ain't Sharpe saying that?
Well, again,
he's offering her money.
He offered her money because that was a sucker move on his part. And the crazy thing is like the nigga offered her $10 million.
And then he puts out a statement.
Down $10 million.
Yeah.
$10 million.
Here, let me play this. Truth. Here you go. This is what I could find real quick.
Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, God.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke out of you when I see you.
Oh, she was setting this nigga.
I don't want to be choked.
Oh.
Yes, you do.
Oh.
I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Anything I say, you're just going to like get mad at, and you're just going to hang up on me. So I feel like.
I'm not going to hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Oh God.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Anything I say, you're just gonna.
Okay, let me pause it.
Now, see,
Lord have mercy.
now, let me ask you a question.
And let me tell you this though. I'll tell you guys this because I don't have a clip for this, but I did read, or if you, a lot of this is gonna come out in court. A lot of it has been pulled back, and they're trying to keep things, But I know that at some point he said that I'm gonna call you. Or he wanted to this is when the text messages, if you guys research, there's text messages on all this shit. But at some point in the text messages, he said, I'm gonna call you, or I'll call you, or something like that. And I felt like in that moment she didn't call him, but I do feel like that it's a setup. You can tell the way it's going down in the things that we hear and say he's being set up to a degree. But on the other hand of that is nobody can set you up if you're not doing stupid shit. Nobody, you can't be set up if you're not doing stupid shit.
Well,
I mean, period.
Let me say this. I had I worked for a lady one time, and she was a white lady, and I worked for her, and I remember her telling me this. This is I was at the country club. And she told me, she said, never put anything in writing, but get everything in writing. And she was the type who, she was one of those. Like
say that again. She said what?
She said, never put anything in writing, but get everything in writing.
I heard that.
And what she was telling me, and she gave me that advice again years ago, and I never forgot that because of the climate that we live in. And she said, and what she would do was she would bait you into saying some dumb shit in an email. So when her emails, you know how you get that subtle passive aggressive shit in the email where you know what someone's saying, but they're not saying it, and they get you to come out of pocket. You get you to come out of pocket so that you type back some bullshit, and now I got something that's irrefutable. You can theorize that maybe I meant this or that, but I still have room to finesse this.
Right.
Who the fuck records a conversation like
that? Right. And he didn't know he was being recorded, I guess. I mean, obviously, is that even legal? I guess it depends on the state.
You know what? I think it's admissible when you consider it's a SA scenario. It wouldn't be admissible in something else. So that's another reason why they're going the SA route versus going, oh, he was just being mean to me or whatever the case may be. Because again, he didn't consent to being recorded. You don't have to consent in an SA scenario because again, that's like the higher level, higher shelf type of scenario.
I finally had a chance to.
Sorry, I keep doing that because I'm trying to get back to the playlist. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so she records this conversation knowingly, and I think again, this is the part about the legal system that really disturbs me is because, and we see these scenarios play out in marriages, we see them play out in business deals or whatever, where all you're trying to do now is just to build a case against the other individual, whether or not they're aware of that or not. And most oftentimes, your best bet is to keep them unaware, so to deceive them through the process. Do I think he had some culpability for putting himself in a fucked up position? Yes, I think he does. But do I just accept for face value that this 19-year-old that he whatever? I just don't know.
I agree with you. This is the thing with the whole Tasha K thing. I mean, she's like, get them. You have to understand that a lot of Black women, I'm gonna say, probably feel that way, and I obviously not all, but there's a lot. The relationship between Black men and Black women has always been tumultuous. What's the word?
No, that's not a word. Tumultuous.
Okay. You'll send it to me in a text so I can spell it. Yeah, so it's always been problematic, okay? And and I feel like we're trying to, I mean, you get mad and you're salty and you're like, get him for everything he got. It's like, okay, like, stop. Like, that's a bit much. Like, I mean, yeah, he's whack. Yeah, he shouldn't have did anything. But that bitch don't deserve nothing if she's lying. I just want the truth to come out. This nigga really sent it to me. I see it come up on my screen, you guys. He sent it to me. He loves me. He doesn't want this so stupid. This is what I'm talking. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna look at it in a minute. I saw it pop up on my computer. Okay, but look, Jason, wait. Okay, let me play this Cam Newton clip. Here we go. Did you see this yet? The Cam Newton? I haven't seen it. What he said?
No.
Have you seen it? Okay, let's see it. Let me see it.
Here we go. First down. Viral moment of the week. Let's see what we got.
Well, it's been heating up, so we have to talk about Shay Shay's world. All right, Shannon Sharpe is under fire right now. It came out to the public that he was finishing up his deal soon with the volume and on the verge of $100 million deal, upwards of $100 million deal. But then allegations came out. All right. So it's a 21-year-old woman, I think the age is 20 or 21, accused him, Shannon Sharpe, of rape, abuse, and threats in Nevada civil lawsuit. So she filed a lawsuit April 20th against Shannon Sharpe. And this young lady came out, and this lawsuit was for $50 million. But let's just talk about everything that has been happening with Shannon Sharpe and, your thoughts, and just talk about the facts of what we have seen. Because we don't know the full story. It's still developing, but we have to talk about it.
I think I want to start this off with a very serious note. No matter who you are, no matter the age, no matter the race, no matter, what the circumstances entail, we do not subscribe to any type of sexual assault of any kind. Absolutely. I think what's tough about this is that when you talk about the individual Shannon Sharpe, and this has been a person to me that I can call on as a friend. This is a person to me who I can call as an advisor, and just flat out, this is a person who I look up to.
Yeah.
You don't expect to have people of his caliber associated with this type of issue.
For sure.
And I think that's what was, while everybody was taking a step back. And this is a perfect case of facts versus public opinion. And everything I say is my honest opinion.
Yeah.
This is not me taking sides of me insinuating that somebody's guilty or innocent.
Correct.
By any stretch of the imagination. I hope everything works out. But just the person who, Shannon Sharpe is a person who I hold in high regard.
Correct.
As a person that it's like, like he's on to everybody.
To everybody, yeah.
So it's like, this is not a joking matter, more so to say like, hold on, what does the facts indicate? We do know that Tony Busby has been on the front line of trying to expose very well-known African-Americans. He was a part of the Deshaun Watson case. He was also a part of, the Diddy lawsuit. He was also a part of the case of Jay-Z.
Yeah.
So what we know as facts has shown itself and constantly showing itself. And I think when you take a step and kind of have your own observation, what doesn't look good, there's multiple things that does not look good. The obvious is the age difference.
Yeah.
And I'm not insinuating anything. This is still this is my opinion that I have, right, wrong, or indifferent. And this is not me saying like I'm taking the side of, Shay, because we don't ascribe to anybody in a sexual assault case.
Correct.
Right? It's just unfortunate that these individuals have to go through this publicly.
Correct.
And I look at it and will say this to anybody, no matter who you are, be careful.
Yes.
No matter what you got going on, popping, not popping, successful, unsuccessful, just be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Human rights is real.
That's real.
No means no. And we're living in a day and age where, yes, like people have the right to feel offended and feel any type of way.
Yeah.
So that's not denying that specific fact. And as things start to develop, and it's still a developing story.
It is. So we don't know all the facts now.
For sure.
Stuff comes out every day. Yeah.
And it is when you see things develop, his image will take a hit. Shannon Sharpe has been a person in media that is relatable to the culture. You will hope that he's innocent, but you don't want to be misogynistic to the young lady and to discredit what she feels to be an assault.
Yeah.
So dare I speak on something that is still a developing story. I just know who Shannon Sharpe is to me.
Yeah.
And we've tried to not speak on this case as much as possible as it is developing, because I do not want to be biased.
Mm-hmm.
Because I owe a service and understanding that, like when you speak your opinion, it can still come off as a certain type of way.
Correct.
I heard what Stephen A. Smith spoke about on his platform,
mm-hmm.
and it was masterfully said. We all have somebody we report to, no matter who you are.
Exactly.
Over this past weekend, I had the opportunity to speak at a Black Effect that was head and led by Charlemagne, a beautiful platform that he curated with his team. And there was something that he said that I'll share with you. Freedom of speech is not free.
Mm.
Everything that you say comes with a price.
Mm.
Everything that you do also comes with a price. And I've learned this in my own right, Ped.
Yeah, that's what I want to dive into.
But hear me out. And this is why it's so near and dear to me. I had a conversation with Shannon around November, December. Every time he's in Atlanta, he'll stop by, the fellowship, have a dinner, and just kick it. And one of the main things that he says, Cam, you got to stop cursing.
Mm.
And I'm like, man, no, bro. Like, no, he said, bro, listen to me. When you playing the corporate game, this ain't you selling yourself, but you got to play by their rules. You gotta ask yourself, does a brand want to align with your moral compass?
Mm.
So when I take a challenge to say, you know what, there's a lot of things that I have to change about myself. And there's people who I take counsel from, the Amari Collins of the world, the RJ Mathises of the world, the Kristen Myers of the world, the Cecil Newtons of the world, the Jackie Newtons of the world, Kaylin, CJ. Everybody has a way to get through to me when I may be in my own way.
Yeah.
It's not what you're saying, Cam, it's how you're saying it.
Yeah.
Shannon also advised me on that. He's like, bro, what I'm doing in Nightcap and what I'm doing with Shay Shay, it's like, bro, you can do it too. So it hits a little different when this is a person who you listen to. This is a person who you are a fan of.
Yeah.
This is a person who you have aspirations to be as well.
Yeah.
A football player who's evolved into this media juggernaut. And it's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
But to this point where we're living in an era where everybody calls themselves, oh, I'm a boss. But even the boss, in most situations, have to answer to somebody.
Well, that's what I was saying. And I heard this is like the true boss has the most bosses. And meaning that you answer to so many other people that's helping push you and your company on, whether it's your fans, whether it's your employees. And a lot of times too, it's like, as you grow as a businessman, we have had conversations. It's like, now it's a certain level of pressure and responsibility on you, because there's so many people's livelihoods that is predicated off of the decisions of what Cam Newton is making. You know what I'm saying? Even on this show, this platform of what we talk about, that's predicating on people's livelihood as they feed their families. And, it's a certain level of weight, but it's good weight that you carry because as we talk, and I know Stephen A. said this, is you have to stay within certain barriers. Right. You know what I'm saying? Of not even just, it's not hushing yourself, but it's really, everybody has barriers. Right. Everybody has ramifications to keep them aligned, to keep them upright. You know what I'm saying? We just can't be lawless out here and just doing whatever. Not saying Shannon is that way or whatever. I'm just talking about in general. Yeah. And just as a man and as a human being, man, woman, whatever, it is, all barriers aren't bad. You know what I'm saying? Right. They keep you aligned. They keep you focused. They keep you growing. And so, man, that's just my little 2 cents about it. And
it's not love, Peggy. Don't love.
Not love 2 cents. That's just. That's my point about it.
In no way, shape, form are we implying that he's right and she's wrong.
Correct.
But what I am saying is just unfortunate
that this is a situation.
That this is now public ridicule. And we're playing a game of facts versus public opinion. He knows that he's playing a game that has millions, if not billions of dollars as a weight to say, like, oh, I can't unlock this because I have this. Not only with this particular lawsuit that came out, it was another one that.
And even outside of the money, just the morals, the morale of just the person. You know what I'm saying? Because money, business is one thing, but just being able to stand out in the public. And like you just said, man, you everybody uncle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, even as this situation unfolds, you just hope that doesn't take a hit of just everybody saying like, that's you know what I'm saying? Because when you say that comes just with a level of respect.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And hey, listen, I'll end with this, man. I think that me personally, I would like to say that I'm a boss. When you think about Iconic Saga, we have a president in Krista Myers who's doing an unbelievable job, and so much that happens behind the scenes. We have unbelievable editors and Double D and Jimbo and, the likes of yourself with filtering what we should publish and what we shouldn't. But this is a word to everybody. The boss doesn't mean that you just get to recoup all the dividends of what the company is. What I've learned to be true is the boss means that you're the biggest servant. So for the people who have this thought process of, man, I get to do whatever I want to do. How you call yourself boss and you got so many bosses that you report to. Yeah, but that's a flex to some, but that's also ignorance to people too, because we all report to somebody. The greatest of the great, the smallest of the small. And to the words that my father would always say, can be mindful, because one day you could be on top of the world. And the next day, the world can be on top of you.
Period. I liked that. That was nice.
I didn't. I think that was just a bunch of bullshit too. I don't think it applied. It doesn't apply. And I say this respectfully. I don't expect him to do any different because of the position he's in. So he has sponsors. He's got a toe the line. It's understood. But that's not a real message that people need to hear right now, because what he said is commonplace, right? We all work for somebody. We all have people that we answer to. Shit, if you're married, you got a motherfucker in the house that you answer to on a regular fucking basis. We know that shit. That's not what we're dealing with here. It's not his behavior because he didn't have to answer to nobody. That's not the issue. Now, the issue, if you really want to get into it, which they can't, I don't expect him to, but I'm not accepting this as him weighing in on the subject, because he tiptoed around what the real issue is. What the real conversation needs to be had is you putting yourself in fucked up positions. It has nothing to do with nobody that you got to answer to, but it has everything to do with the fact that you are fucking preyed upon. It's no different than what these young athletes need to. Matter of fact, we did that story before a while back on Travis Hunter. And one of the things that came out during that story with Travis Hunter is the fact that, bro, you're about to be a multimillionaire. This shit right here is a problem for you. And you don't need to have this associated with you. She's clearly, and again, he loves who he loves. It is what it is. He doesn't get a prenup. It is what it is. But again, these little, like, you're preyed upon. So there's at no point, and this is why I say with this scenario, she was an OnlyFans person. So he comes in with his millions of dollars, and gets her attention, or whatever the case may be, and he can talk to her how he wants to. He can't pull that shit off with no grown ass woman, right? A grown woman is not going to accept you talking to her any kind of way, whatever the case may be. That doesn't mean he might be immature. He may even have some, power dynamic issue, but and is he a dumbass for it? Absolutely. Do I think it's pressure because of this whole gay shit? Yeah, I think so. I think all of that coupled together, he might have got off his square. I'm not excusing the behavior. Again, we don't know if he did or didn't yet. That we'll probably hear about it, but it just, to me, sounds like a bunch of bullshit, and it's the same shit that keeps happening. And these niggas keep falling into the same damn trap. No different than that Deshaun Watson's scenario, because a nigga used to he liked to get happy endings after his massages. Like, come the fuck on. Like, and then you keep hearing about this shit. Robert Kraft was the owner of the Patriots. This nigga got busted in prostitution. You don't hear shit. He don't lose his team. He don't have no motherfucking repercussions. Look that shit up. Robert Kraft was doing the same shit, and then Belichick is doing the same shit. But again, you don't hear that. That's not the narrative. They're involved in all this other stuff, and woo. And I think for me, it's because it's like, if you're going to draw the line, then draw the fucking line. But don't tell me it's a line for me and it's a line for them. And don't have me on the outside being required to make a decision on what's right based on the acknowledgement that there are two different lines that we're dealing with. That's not law. That's public opinion. That's playing to the masses. That's a problem to me. And this is the same shit we keep finding ourselves in. We see the same shit happen in politics. You could sit up here and you could bold-face fucking lie, and nobody says shit. Nobody holds these motherfuckers accountable for bold-face lying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not misquoting, bold-face lying. But it's okay, because if it looks right and it looks a certain kind of way, then yeah, then it's just accepted.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do it, that's no different in the Shedeur Sanders scenario. Do you know all the criticism that he has? Majority of it stems with he's arrogant, he's cocky, blah, blah, blah. And then they want to blame Deion because Deion came out and said, well, we're not going to go to this team or that team. Really? Well, you got the man.
Yeah, they say he was blackballed.
No, but
on NFL, all the owners came together and said,
right. No, but then they're trying to say that didn't happen. I heard black pundits on it saying, "Oh yeah, well that didn't happen." You motherfuckers is ignorant. You know they did that shit. There's no way possible that it didn't. And here's the other part about it: Eli Manning's dad, Archie Manning, did the same shit. They got another Manning that's coming out of Texas. I guarantee you, they're going to be like, "This nigga's not going to any team." He's not, because he did it with his boys. He did it with them. He's going to do it again with the youngest one coming in the league. But it's okay, because it's two different sets of rules. It's a rules for them and a rule for you niggas.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I have a problem with in this. It's like, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this disparity.
Yeah,
like,
but it ain't going nowhere.
Call it what it needs to be. Hold people accountable according to the rules that's set, and we agree on. Okay, yeah, let's agree. This is the rule. We're not going to do this. But I'm sick of this sideways shit where it's only applicable if you don't have the complexion for protection.
Yeah,
it's only applicable then.
I'm gonna play. Then we're gonna go, but I'm gonna play this. I want to play. What's his name? Sharpe. This next clip right here is his statement he put out on his Instagram about it being a shakedown. I wanted to see this, but I waited to this so I could watch it. Let me see what he said real quick. That's the one we just
saw. It's not.
Oh, he said it was 10 minutes. You see that little clip?
We don't see anything.
No, the clip where I just played with the girl.
You didn't play anything.
I played it earlier. What do you mean?
Okay. What about it?
He's saying it was 10 minutes. And they're just bringing out this little clip. So to his point, that this is way more to it. The whole clip was 10 minutes long.
Yeah, it's a 10-minute.
Editing it out.
10 minutes or whatever the fuck it was.
Mm-hmm.
That little counter he had was 10 minutes or so. They edited 30 seconds.
Yeah, to all the bad part. Or the big black, all that stuff you were talking about.
Yeah, and then here's the other part about it. Truth even mentioned it earlier. She was like, if she was so afraid, then why would she answer the phone?
Right.
Again, there's too many other weird ass things that are at play here.
Right.
And again, I'm not a woman, so I don't know. But I don't know if that's the way things happen. That, yeah, well, I still would answer the phone for a nigga that I'm afraid of because of whatever. I just, again, I don't know.
Somebody said in the comments right here, I'm going to sit this one out. Black ladies, this isn't our business.
Yeah, but he's an idiot for putting himself in this position of fucking again. And at some point or another, we're going to get the message. And this is why you need to go see that movie, Sinners.
Yeah, I need
to have a conversation that was actually presented in this movie.
Yeah,
there was a conversation that needs to be had about this because, yeah. So
True,
anyway,
go see it. Go see it. We should go see it. Okay, let me finish this step and then we could go. Jay.
True.
Let's put
don't nobody want to hear that. Truth. They don't care about that because again, it's a different rule. It's different rules. True. There's different rules because had Obama had a fucking parking ticket, that nigga wouldn't have been in office.
All right. That's crazy. I know.
A parking ticket. Yep. Oh hell nah. Let alone 34 felonies.
Right.
Felonies.
I know, that's crazy.
Not charges. Felonies, which means those you were convicted and found guilty of 34 things that classified as a motherfucking felony.
Oh shit.
There was a rule in LA that had said that if you had 3 felonies, that was the 3 strike rule. You got life in prison for 3 of them. Not 34 though. All right, whatever. But it's different rules.
This person said, how does this uplift? They did this little thing with Monique right here. I'm laughing. It says, how does this uplift our community? Yeah, it's too bad. I mean, I do believe there's some bullshit, going on here. There ain't no question on that. But I just wish you stop putting yourselves in these predicaments because this shit is not going nowhere. They've been treating us like this before Jesus was before Christ. So I mean, I just don't understand. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, no sound, no video. Oh, she trying to say. Oh, they couldn't hear what I just put, or she talking about something else?
No, we couldn't hear nothing.
Oh, you couldn't? Oh no, hold on. The whole time? Hold on, here we go.
Friends, boys, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
Okay, you saw that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sharing the right tab, my fault. Okay, that was his statement. That was his only statement he's made about it. So we shall see, right?
Yeah, ultimately we will. It's rather unfortunate. But there's a passage of scripture that keeps coming to mind during this whole thing. It says that a fool and his money shall soon depart. I think that's what stands out for me in this scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Is just foolish ass behavior.
Right.
And you put yourself in this fucked up scenario, and there's no excuse for it because you have plenty of people around you that have told you to do different. And you know, again, we saw the public ones, but I can assure you there are people in private that have told him the exact same thing, bro. Leave them motherfuckers alone. Stop fucking with them. Or if you're gonna fuck with them, get you a prostitute.
But somebody said, and this is my last thing. When you said you're supposed to have these people sign these disclosures. What are they called?
NDA, non-disclosure agreements.
Yeah, they like if you want to do all this kind of shit, and they said there's also contracts you sign when you want to have rough sex with somebody. There's actual contracts that you can sign to protect yourself. To me, you have way too much money to not know stuff like this. Like everybody should be signing something if they're around you. How do you think
Neo? He got them wives, and he told them girls. He said, "Listen, I'm the only one that can break up this whole scenario. If you cheat, whatever." He got it all spelled out in a contract. Like it's there. I heard Plies one time talking about that. Plies was talking about, you know, like a sex contract when he deals with women. And this is what this is. This is what this ain't. This is what I expect. This is the agreement or whatever the case may be.
I mean, you have to do it. I mean, maybe people don't feel comfortable doing it, but then they can't be around then.
Well, then, nigga, your $100 million is gone.
Yeah.
Okay, at the end of the day. So
how do you think Beyonce does that? I mean, that's why some of these people you've never seen in media or nothing with no fucking, I don't know. But look at Oprah. I mean, I think people have to sign all kind of shit to be around her.
They do. I bet they do. You ain't never heard somebody hitting that. You ain't never heard come out talking about it though.
Right.
Somebody doing something to it. So she ain't a monk.
I know.
Well, that might be it.
It's been real. I enjoyed the podcast tonight.
Always, man. Listen, it's been a real pleasure being back. Thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all for sliding. Thank you for your participation, your activity. Just thank you for your presence and your energy.
Yeah.
It's always appreciated. I missed it. I missed you guys. I missed you, Cuzzo. Just talking to you on a regular basis. But yeah, so
we bet.
To it. Look forward to next weekend. I don't plan on being out of town. Not now.
And I'm gonna be here too. And if you guys have any topics, you can always go to you guys see me around or whatever, or maybe put a comment on one of the lives on one of the podcasts that post. If you have and we have the email as well. Oh, Jason, I just see the private chat. I don't know how long that's been sitting there. Oops. But also look, here's the email, guys. We are unlatched@gmail. Now, I think I still have access to it. I'm sure I do. You can send an email. And we want to know topics. Like sometimes we struggle with topics that might be interesting. We want to, have things that are interesting for all of you. So there might be something you guys want to talk about that you see during the week and throw it out there for Dynamicist and I, and then we can talk about it. So we're open. We're very open to things. I miss Marianne.
Hey. Is she here? Oh, somebody gotta call her. Call her and tell her we miss her.
Yeah, I forgot. Somebody says she's okay. I just can't remember who it is, but might have been Susan. Hype me up. Look at this one. Anyway, it's the boot. It's always the boot. All right, y'all. We love you. I'm late. Hi, Zuda. You can always watch the replay. We talked about your boy, Shannon Sharpe. I guess he said, who said he was my boy? Listen. Okay, you're gonna call her. Okay, let us know, Susan, what you find out. All right, Jay. Love you.
Right, love you too. Love you guys, man. Thank y'all for sliding in. We see y'all next week for sure.
Oh, can I tell you guys one thing? I got this moo off of TikTok shop. $19.99. I think it was a little less than that. Maybe $15. Y'all, it takes me forever to wear my new shit. I finally wore it tonight. I love it. So I ran back to the TikTok shop. Guess how much they want now?
How much?
Motherfucker said $111. I'm not bullshitting. On sale for $80. This same motherfucker. I ran in there to G and I said, look at this shit. This is how they do us. So I ran over to Amazon and this same motherfucker was $19.99. So I bought 3 more. Can you believe it?
On the TikTok shop, it was up to 80.
TikTok shop is ganking us, y'all. As soon as the shit, I saw everybody wearing this and promoting it. As soon as it grows big, and it's not just TikTok shop. This is what they do with everything. Soon as we like something, nigga, I couldn't believe it. This same thing somebody is paying $80 for on sale, and I got it for $12 when it first came out.
How long ago?
It ain't nothing but a piece of material.
How long ago?
I got this maybe 2 months ago. I just never wore it.
Supply and demand ain't caused that increase.
Do you see? I couldn't believe it. And in the whole TikTok. Look at this one. I don't have TikTok. Was it TikTok? Yeah, TikTok shop. Yeah. So anyway, it's on Amazon. Here go Rob. Go write in the comments that they could go find it on Amazon, but I won't do it because I don't want to. But it's like, it's like, hello, y'all getting ganked. Go to Amazon.
No, right? Do it.
You think I should do it?
Hell yeah, because you let them consumers be informed, and then they'll stop going through there, and then people going to adjust their price. They'll have to adjust their price because then they're going to lose all their sales. Yeah. Hell yeah, do that.
Tariffs are big. Tariffs, is that what it is? Is it the tariffs? But Amazon still got it for $19.99.
It ain't tariffs. Tariffs ain't causing that much of an increase. No. It's already profit at $19. Think about it. If they selling it to you for $19,
you know this thing goes $2 to make. Come on,
it's already profit there. So there ain't no tariffs. 19, maybe 35 on those items. No.
I just don't believe it. I just saw it. I just had to tell you that. I meant to tell you, but I might as well say it here before we go, because I just cannot believe they're getting us like this. From $12 to $80 in 2 months. I
personally like them. I think women should wear that shit.
I love it. It's so comfortable.
I seen one. I'm gonna find the one that I seen. Does it got a slit on the side?
It's sold up. It does, but it's sold up.
Yeah, I seen that, and I seen that model wearing it. I was like, yeah, damn, that shit sexy.
Well, some people don't like them, but I like them for comfort.
Man, I think they're gorgeous.
Can you send me? Yeah, Susan, just tell me what to do. I don't know how. I don't have your number. I gotta get your number so I can send it to you. Of course, I'll send you the link. Please Zuda, get your wife one. I need to get baby some. Oh, come on. I'm sending everybody the link. I'm gonna go put it on my page somewhere. Look up my community post. I'm gonna put it up there. Everybody getting a moo-moo. You get a moo-moo. Jay, you want me to see? Okay, he don't want one.
I'm good.
Okay. No. All right. Love you, Jay.
Shannon might want one.
We gotta go, y'all. He's out of control. Bye. Bye, Shannon.